All right, guys, we got this. Let's go. Gun wide trip sweep. Pros X go. On one. On one. Ready?
Ready.
What's up, guys? It's Pick'em with HuddleGG, and today we're going to talk about how to block the dime 3-2 loop blitz. And if you like what you see in today's video, make sure you head over to HuddleGG as well, because we just dropped 11 separate videos on how this blitz works, how the dime 1-4 loop blitz works, and how we can block these blitzes in various ways. And again, we're going to show you a couple today, so let's dive right into it. And again, today we're in dime 3-2, and first let's talk about what the blitz is, how it works, and why it works. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to go to your coaching adjustments, you're going to have auto flip off, and you're going to have auto alignment set to base. Now, when we go into the play, you just need to pick a play that has the right of screen middle linebacker already on a blitzing angle, and that's very important, and we're going to show you why. So we're just going to come out and cover 4 quarters here for today's video, and what you're going to see is that right of screen middle linebacker is already on a blitz angle to start the play, and that's very important. What we're going to do for the setup is we're just going to drag this linebacker over top of this linebacker, and then we're going to bring this guy and essentially just swap these guys' positions, and then a lot of people are going to like to contain. All right, that's all you need to do to get this blitz to work. Now, what you're going to see is that linebacker that we move from right to left now has this looping action back to the right side of the screen. What you're going to see when we go to say hike, you're going to get this looper here to loop around and get in the backfield there. And it can be very, very frustrating from the offensive perspective if you're blocking 5 and they're only sending 4 and they're getting this in consistently. And again, you're going to see here, they're going to get that loop in, and that's going to get us there in the backfield time and time again. Now, I mentioned it's very important to start out with that right of screen middle linebacker on a blitz angle, and this is the reason. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to audible to cover 4 drop. Okay, so the only difference here really between cover 4 drop and match, obviously the matching principles, but the right of screen linebacker is now in a hook curl rather than a blitzing angle. What you're going to do is, let's say that we just want to blitz that guy now, right? So we blitzed him after he started out in a hook curl, and let's say we drag him over here. The problem is, once he passes the center, if it's a manual adjustment to a blitz, he is going to switch his blitzing angle. So this isn't going to work the same way. So if we try to set this up the exact same way, you can see from the start on the play art that that blitzer is not looping from left to right. So if we say hike, he's just going to run directly at that guard, and that's not going to allow that loop to come in. Okay, again, it's very, very important that you start out with the right of screen middle linebacker on the blitz angle. As you can see here, we have in quarters, we're going to bring this guy over top of the other linebacker, and again, switch these guys out, contain if you want, and then obviously you can adjust the coverage how you want behind it. You do not have to run this cover 4 scheme. You can run really whatever you want. It doesn't affect the blitz. But again, when we go to say hike, you're going to see that that looper is going to come in free there and get that quarterback there in the backfield. Now, before we get into a couple of ways on how we can block this blitz, I do want to talk about why this blitz works, so we don't just sit back from the offensive side of the ball and blame the game, say it's broken, and say it doesn't make any sense why this blitz works, because it actually does make sense if you know what you're looking at. What we're going to do here is we're going to first set up the blitz from the defensive side of the ball. Again, we're going to bring this guy over here, we're going to swap these guys out, and you're going to see here that we have that blitz set up how we were doing a little bit earlier in today's video. Now, what I want to do is I want to look at the play art here for our offensive line. So when we look at our play art, I want you to pay attention to who is responsible for the looper. That's going to be our left guard. So why this causes a problem for our offense is the rest of our offensive line are not going to engage with that guy because he's already assigned a blocker with that left guard. Now, the problem for the left guard is he can't fight over to the right side of the screen, fight through the center, fight through the right guard, and shuffle that side to get this blitz pickup. So that's what allows this guy to come in free. So again, because the left guard is assigned to the looper, that tells our right guard and our center, hey, we can engage in this double team to start the play. And by the time they're engaged in that double team, it's too late for them to adjust and get over to that looper, and that's what allows this blitz to come in. So again, if we say hike here, you're going to see, again, they get that guy. Now, he tried to adjust super late, but again, because he is not responsible for that looper until he realizes it's too late, that's what really caused the issue here. And again, if we look at this, we say hike again, you're going to see those guys are going to engage in that double team. And that is, again, why this is consistent on the defensive side of the ball. So a lot of people don't understand why it's happening the way it's happening. But again, the left guard is responsible for the looper. The right guard and the center are going to be responsible for this D tackle once they get into that double team engagement, because at this point, the looper is not an immediate threat, right? By the time the right guard engages in the double team, the looper's not an immediate threat yet, and you can even see the left guard is focused on the looper the whole time, right? His eyes are focused there until he gets too far to the right side of the screen, where he now just has to adjust and try to block elsewhere. So this is the reason why this blitz is working. I know a lot of times the easiest answer is, oh, the game's just broken, and there's nothing I can do about it, and just almost like sit back and just complain about it rather than understanding what's happening. But I did want to really focus on why this is working the way it is. Now, you can argue that that's not the way it should work, but that is the reason why it is working. But with that being said, we do have a couple of answers on how we can block this really effectively. Let's dive right into those now. As promised, we're now going to show you two different ways that we can block this loop blitz, and both of them are going to be using our running back. Now, it's not as simple as just simply blocking our running back, and I'm going to show you that here, and I'm going to show you why as well. So if we set up this pressure here, what you're going to see is if we just block our running back, if we look at our blocking play art, you're going to see we're going to run into the same issue that we had earlier, where the left guard is responsible for that looper, so the running back is going to target it way too late. Now, there will be times where he blocks it and picks it up at the last second, but it's not going to be consistent for us as an offensive, or on the offensive side of the ball, to run this time and time again. So you can't simply just block this running back, because what you're going to see is that looper is still going to get through there, and the running back is going to pick him up so late, and sometimes you won't even pick him up at all, and it's going to still be able to get solid pressure. And again, if we're blocking 6 people, we don't want them to be able to get quick pressure, right? So again, we're adding an extra person into the blocking scheme to make sure that we have the time that we want to throw. But again, if we don't set up things the appropriate way, you're going to see that on that time, again, the running back is just too late there. So as I was saying, it's not always consistent to block it. Even though on the first one he gets to him before he gets to our quarterback, it's not something we want to live by, right? Because you're going to see here, the running back is so focused on the left side of the screen when we're blocking him, that that's going to allow that looper to come in still the same gap that he's been coming in the whole time. And again, if we're blocking 6 people, they're only sending 4, and they're still getting a free rusher at times, that's going to be a recipe for disaster here for our offense. So how can we block this? And again, we're going to talk about 2 ways. And what's great about it is we can essentially pick whether we want our left tackle or our right tackle to go one-on-one. Okay, so right here first, we're going to show my right tackle going one-on-one because that's my better offensive tackle. So if you have a better matchup on the offensive line, you obviously want to send that tackle to the one-on-one. What we're going to do is, again, let's set up this pressure. So we're going to bring this guy over here, bring this linebacker over here, and we're going to contain. Now, what you're going to see here is we want to block our running back, and we want the running back to start on the same side as the looper. So 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the left side. We rarely see anybody looping from right to left. Typically, it's going to be that loop from left to right. Again, you want your running back starting on the left side here. And again, we blocked our running back, but that's not all we need to do, as we just showed. What we want to do now is we want to half slide one way or the other. Now, if you want your right tackle to go one-on-one, we're going to half slide to the left. Okay, so you're going to half slide away from the tackle that you want to go one-on-one. So here we're going to half slide to the left, and then we're going to double team the defensive tackle. Now, what you're going to see that does is it shows the right tackle one-on-one with the defensive end, the right guard in the center blocking the D tackle, and then the left guard is going to kick out so far wide to the left that he's going to get a natural double team on that left of screen defensive end. But most importantly, our running back is targeting that left of screen middle linebacker, or that looper, from the start of the play, so he's not going to be late to this anymore. Okay, so what you're going to see here is when we go to say hike, they're going to pick this up the way that we want them to, and that's going to give us time that we need to throw that ball. Now, you're still going to rely on sheds at that point, right? So if someone splits a double team, if your right tackle gets shed or your running back gets shed, that is still possible, right? We cannot do anything about that in the blocking game. What I want you to see is anytime we talk about picking up blitzes, it's all about having a hat on a hat. So again, we have that right tackle one-on-one like we wanted. The right guard and the center are going to double team that D tackle like we wanted. The left guard and the left tackle are going to double team that defensive end like we wanted. In the running back, you see how he's targeting the looper from the very start of the play? That's going to allow him to step up and pick up this blitz 10 out of 10 times because you know exactly where he's going to go. Now, again, we're not setting up any route combinations right now on the back end. We're just showing you how much time we have in the pocket here, and this is plenty of enough time to throw this ball. You can see by the time we actually get sacked there, our receivers are 40 yards down the field. Okay, so again, one more time, if we want that right tackle to go one-on-one, what we want to do is we are going to first set up this blitz on the defensive side of the ball. But again, if we want the right tackle to go one-on-one, we're going to block our running back from the left side. We're going to half slide left double team the D tackle. And this is what your play art should look like here. Again, you want that running back targeting the looper. All right, so now when we say hike, you're going to see that he's going to step up. He's going to pick up that blitz, and that would give us the time that we need to throw the ball. Now, who your running back is important as well. If you have a really small running back, he's not going to pick up the blitz as well as if you have a bigger back, right? So if you had a fullback in here, they might even pick it up even better. So if you really want to make sure that they can pick it up, having a bigger bodied player is definitely going to be better for you. But even here, you're going to see, even though our running back gets shedded pretty quickly here, that still gave us plenty of enough time to step up away from that and make the read that we would want to down the field, right? We would have time for a comeback, deep dig, post. I mean, if you throw anything underneath, you're going to have plenty of enough time for. But again, we're just trying to get him to get a hat on a hat, which he does here. And again, how long he holds up is based off the pass block ratings and strength and weight and all of that at that point. Now, if we want our left tackle to go one-on-one, we can do that as well. So let's talk about that here. Again, it's going to be very, very similar. We're just going to make one minor adjustment. So let's set up this blitz here from the defensive side of the ball. So what we're going to do, we're still going to have the running back on the left. We're going to block the running back. Now, again, we're going to half slide away from the tackle we want to go one-on-one. So here we're going to half slide to the right, and then we're going to double team the defensive tackle still. And again, what's very important is having that running back one-on-one targeting that looper. Now you can see our left tackle is one-on-one there with the defensive end. So here you're going to see that they're going to do the same thing. They're going to step up, make that block, and it's going to give us all the time that we need to throw that ball down the field, right? So again, for my team, I'm going to be leaving my right tackle one-on-one because he's my better blocker. But here you can see if your left tackle was the better blocker, you can leave him one-on-one. You're going to get two double teams on the right side, and your running back's going to step right into that B gap and pick up that blitz time and time again. And this is going to be consistent for you every single time. Again, one more time with putting that left tackle one-on-one. We're going to set up this blitz. We're going to block our running back on the left, half slide to the right, double team that D tackle. This is going to give us the play art that we want from our blocking. We're going to say hike. You're going to see that everyone's going to pick up the guy that they're supposed to. And that's going to give us all the time in the world for us to step up in that pocket, whether it be scramble or make that read down the field. But this is going to really give you that comfortability in the pocket, so your opponent does not have the ability to get that looper in free, and it's going to give you all day to make your reads.